Hey there YouTube, this is CK104 back with another video, and this time it's a review. So I was contacted by my friends over at Gearbest, and they asked me if I wanted to review a product of theirs, and they specifically asked if I was interested in mechanical keyboards, and I've never used one before, not for an extended period of time. My friends have had them, and I, just played around with it just to see how it would feel. But I'd never really considered getting one for myself since, well, I do a lot of typing, yes, but I usually do it on my laptop, and I'm usually not anywhere near a table or something like that, so it's not as efficient for me. But I've started using my desktop computer a lot more, especially at work, and so having a non-cheapo membrane keyboard definitely appealed to me, so I definitely said I would be interested in reviewing this guy. And this is a, let's see, it's a Motospeed CK104 up here. This is pretty much all bells and whistles. RGB LEDs are individually addressable for every single key, which is crazy. Obviously, as I said, it's a mechanical keyboard, and there's a bunch of presets programmed, and we'll go into this. So yeah, just some extraneous information. If we look on the back, let's see, we can see it supports common game mode button backlight. So you can use the function keys to modify, basically, to customize different programmable settings and whatnot. Yeah, you can adjust the speed of the animation as well as the brightness, so that's definitely a plus. If you're in a darker environment, you don't necessarily want to be blinded by your keyboard. And you can also turn off the LEDs and just use it as a regular mechanical keyboard, so that's awesome. All the keys are removable, and it comes with a little tool to remove them, so that's really cool. You can lock the Windows key, so if you accidentally bump it, if you're full screen into a game, it's not going to kick you out of the game and get you killed there. So let's see, multimedia functionality built in, like secondary function keys. That's awesome. Yeah, so I got the black one with the when it says blue shaft, it means it's a clone of the Cherry MX Blues, basically. And there's the red. I believe they have different actuation forces and maybe different loudnesses of the key, basically. And this isn't quite as loud as the one that my friend has. I'm not sure which model he had. This is not the quietest keyboard. That's the thing. If you're going to be, typing, you have a roommate or something like that, and it's late at night, you might not want to get this keyboard. But if you're going to be typing a lot and you're alone in your room, for instance, or you have a cubicle or whatever, this is great. I've typed a lot on membrane type keyboards and laptop keyboards with chiclet keys, and they work, but they're definitely not ideal. And I've noticed I'm not the world's greatest typer, but just having the way that this feels, I feel like I can type faster, actually. So yeah, anyway, it feels really nice, and you can definitely feel there's a bit of a travel time before it clicks. But there's that distinctive clack when it actually activates the switch itself. So yeah, feels really good. I do really like the font. It's sort of kind of like I don't know what kind of font, like cyber sort of font thing going on here. Very stylized. And the keys, let me actually pop one of them off and show you the construction. Okay, so here's the key puller. So we're just going to pull off the escape key, just because it's easiest. So there. You can see what they mean by blue shaft. It basically, the color of, well, the shaft. So anyway, the keys here, you can see they're double injection molded. So this, the white part is silk screened on, but the actual text itself is backlit, and it'll actually glow against the black. Really nice high contrast, and it's not, it's molded into the plastic itself, double injection molded, so it's not going to rub off. So definitely, kudos for going to the extra step for that. And if you actually look at the key itself here, the center part of the key is obviously the actuator, and you can see there's a gap, and there's a, I'm guessing it's a serially controlled RGB LED stuck in there. So anyway, I've kind of rambled on for long enough. It is nice and weighty, actually. Definitely like the way that it feels. It's not a light keyboard, so if you stick it down, there's big rubber feet, so it's not going anywhere. It's not going to just slide around on you while you're trying to type on it. I do like that there's a metal, I believe it's aluminum, backplate underneath all the keys, and all the keys are easily removable, so you can easily clean between everything. There are different indicators here for caps lock, num lock, whatever. Those are pretty good. One thing that I wish that I think could be an improvement is the back. The plastics, it's okay. It kind of definitely feels cheaper than the front. When you look at it from the front, this looks pretty schmick, pretty high end. But the back definitely, especially this label's sort of how you doing. But it's a small thing. You're never going to look at the bottom of your keyboard, really, except for when you're cleaning maybe or you're moving it. So that's fine. I can live with that. I really do like the cord is nice and thick and sturdy. It has a ferrite bead, gold-plated connector. It's pretty good, and I really like that it comes with this little Velcro strap so you can wind it up and throw it in a backpack. That's really neat. I really would have liked, though, if instead of having a hard wire connector like this, if they could have done a like a mini USB port or something like that. But maybe I can see why they didn't want to go. It wouldn't be quite as robust, but that would have been really neat to have been able to disconnect the cable and just store it separately, or when you're taking it with you, so the connector doesn't get kinked or anything like that. Anyway, let me just do a quick power on test. I don't have a computer with me right now, so instead I'm going to be using a USB-C to USB full-size adapter with my Nintendo Switch, and apparently the Switch can work with external keyboards, so we're just going to set this down here, plug this in, and then turn on my Switch. And you can see it lights up the keys, the animation. Okay, there we go, numlock was hit. I have it on, there's a couple different animation modes. The one that I really like, that I have it set to, is this one, where when you start typing, it'll light up each key a random color, and it'll stay lit for about a second. So when you're typing, it leaves kind of a trail of what you've been typing. So that's one mode, and as I said, we can speed it up and slow it down and change the brightness by holding function and holding this by pressing the light bulb up down keys. So obviously I'm making it dimmer, now I'm making it brighter, now it's at max brightness. Also we can change the speed. So this will basically just change the speed of the animation. You can see now it's taking longer for it to shut off. So we can cycle through. So there are a couple different modes. If we hit the M2 is sort of like the modifier. So right now we're in the mode where it leaves this color trail, basically. We can change the color by hitting function and then M2. Now the trail it leaves is only red. If we hit it again, now it's only yellow, and it'll light up kind of the color to tell you now it's only green. Now it's cyan. Now it's just blue. Now it's pink or purple, and then now it's white. And then when we hit it again, it'll go back to the rainbow mode. So if we want to change the mode entirely, we can hit function M1, and that'll change it. The other mode is now it's all the same color, but it pulses slightly. You can maybe see it's kind of going through. It's easier to see if I speed it up there. So that's the second mode. If we go to the third one, it has this basically races back and forth through all the keys and lights them up all different colors. And we can obviously change this using the M2 modifier to have static colors or whatever we want. So if we go to the next mode, this is a really cool one too. When you type, it sends out a ripple. So if I hit the control key, you can see eventually it makes it all the way over here. And this is really distracting though, I find, especially if you're using this for kind of to do work on. This would drive me nuts, but it's a really cool looking animation, but I probably wouldn't use it except for to impress people. And we have this mode where if you type, all the surrounding keys light up random colors. That's pretty neat. The next mode is just rainbow scrolling everywhere. This is a really cool one. Next mode is just a solid color, and we can obviously change that using the M2 modifier. Yeah, and then next mode is where the entire keyboard, let's see, yeah, it'll pulse, and speed that up to make it more noticeable. It'll pulse, kind of like that Apple breathing animation, but you know, all the same color. And next we get into where it starts lighting up mapped keys for specific games. So there's two ways to access this, either through cycling through M1, like we're doing right now, and you can see WSADR. So this is for a first-person shooter, or something like that, where you have to strafe. Pretty much then it starts cycling through. Now it's back to random fading the entire keyboard. And now we're back to the first mode that I was in originally. If you want to shortcut into the different gaming lighting setups, we can go directly into that by holding function and pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So this is a first-person shooter, WSAD. Then we have CF. I'm not quite sure what that stands for, but it lights up some of these function keys here, as well as, you know, a number of keys over here. We have COD, guessing Call of Duty, I don't know. Then we have LOL, don't know quite what that's for. And these are actually all configurable, so within FPS, I could actually, by I believe using the MR function MR, you can actually individually change the color of every single key to light up to whatever you want. So I could actually reconfigure the FPS. This is just like a profile, essentially. And if we hit race, it'll light up, you know, these keys. So yeah, you actually don't have to use these specifically for FPS. I can change this to configure it to whatever I want for, say, playing an RPG on an emulator or whatever. So you can see this is highly configurable. I can change the color of every single button if I wanted to, so that's really cool. And we can just go back into the mode that I like most, which is this color trail mode. So yeah, this is actually really nice. I really do like this, and I will be using this for work since I do type a lot there. So yeah, I'm gonna do a teardown of this actually, and I'll show you guys a few pictures. So yeah, if you guys are interested in picking one of these up, so yeah, the link that I'll be posting is an affiliation link that I have through the sellers. So just a disclaimer, you know, if you guys buy this keyboard or anything else through that link, I'll be making a small commission off that. But yeah, all that goes back to help this channel produce more content. So definitely appreciate it. Anyway, if you guys are into gaming, you know, post down below what your current setup is. Whether you like mechanical keyboards or if you're okay with membrane ones, that's definitely fine. So yeah, put your preferences down below, and I'll see you guys.